how are you leveraging social media beyond the normal marketing that you see every day flooding everybody's newsfeed? Daniel Broderick and Travis Scott here with Main Street Agent, talking about that and some of the ideas that we implement on our YouTube.
Hey everybody, how's it going? And one of the things Travis and I were actually just discussing was not just talking about the real estate space, but this would certainly apply to the real estate space. What social media strategies can you do? So one of the examples that we brought up is kind of a small business owner in general and some things that they can do. For example, can they leverage highlighting their employees, highlighting their staff, or maybe their vendors on social media? And would that get them more reach and more influence? And Travis, how do you view that? And then how would that apply to a real estate agency?
Yeah, so I think that's a great idea, especially you said vendors. So I'm going to lead that right into real estate. And just publicly acknowledging anybody in your inner circle or outer circle, your secondary circle. But as far as vendors, you can apply that to real estate as acknowledging other agents in your market or your competition, right? Because if you're collaborating instead of competing, then that's going to pull a whole new vibe in the whole community.
Absolutely. So when you're talking about under other agents, or you're talking about other lenders, or what other types, home inspectors, who else serves us in the real estate industry?
Title agencies, appraisers, home inspectors, lenders.
So what does that actually do for the brand of what we're doing as realtors? How does that actually tie into helping the consumer understand more about our process?
So I read a book by Josh Altman from California before the Altman close.
Yep.
And just having like that ultimate playbook, right? That ultimate, hey, I have a guy for that. You know, anytime somebody has a question, if you can't answer it, you have a guy for that. So I think that's what it brings. Just have that ultimate collaboration all under one roof.
Yeah, and I think having the right network is what so many home buyers and sellers, when they sign up with the realtor, they don't understand that the network behind that realtor is actually who they're employing along with that realtor. And so when you can start to bring in your team, so like i.e. all the people that we've just discussed, and introduce those people on social media, then people actually are starting to get to know your team and your network before they even do business with you, which essentially could cause them to know, like, and trust you and your team more, versus maybe a competitor realtor who just maybe posts, like, let's say, I see this all the time, proof of work. I call them proof of work posts, where they're just, hey, just sold, just sold, just sold, just sold, another 5-star review, another 5-star review. And this stuff, people need to understand that you're busy, but also what value are you bringing to the market?
Right. No, I definitely get this very dry.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the key behind it is, what is content that you can bring forth, or who are the people that you can bring forth? And maybe do interviews, kind of like what we're doing right here. Just do an interview, get on Zoom, do an interview. It's actually pretty easy. And bring them forth into the marketplace, and then push this content out to your database saying, hey, I just interviewed this lender, I just interviewed this person, this is what they say is happening in the marketplace, this is how the title process goes, so on and so forth. And that's actually a really good strategy for real estate agents going forward.
it is. And I think a big thing about the interviews is make them interesting, right? Nobody wants to sit there and watch a boring interview. So I know real estate the process can be mundane. So we're there to take that as agents. But if you want to put the interview out there, make it something that somebody wants to see.
What would you do to make an interview interesting?
As easy as moving the camera, right?
Sure.
Yeah, like start walking. Even if you walk and then sit, just don't be stationary at first.
What kind of questions, this is a question, what kind of questions would you ask one of these people to make it interesting in a content form?
All right. So
what would you ask? Let me ask you this. What would you ask your lender that actually might be very interesting, or one of your lenders, but also might be on the verge of not embarrassing them, but like, hey, this is a moment that either I'm proud of or like a silly moment or something like that. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking like taking a light-sided note on the job interview question of what's your accomplishment? Like when were you in the shit and you got out of it?
Oh yeah.
You know, like give us that and make it client related or whatever.
You know,
Consumer related.
there's a lot of gold in that because that's so true. And when anybody in this industry who has made it has gone through something, has overcome something that they had to get through in order to get to where they are. And now hearing that story makes them a lot more relatable.
Exactly.
All right. So, point number 2 about social media. Travis, in a small town, how can you leverage yourself with what you know about social media to build yourself up as an authority in a small market with business owners, real estate to build your clientele?
So one good way I think to leverage social media on that would be hosting an event that provides value to business owners in the community. And something specific that we'll be doing is hosting a social media event, right? Helping business owners to use social media in their business. So if we get 50 business owners there, everybody can come there, meet each other, mingle. It helps everyone at the event do more business with each other, helps make you the real estate authority in the community because you brought all these business owners together and let everybody leave the event with valuable information.
That just makes so much sense because you're just basically being a connector at that point. And you might even be bringing together business owners who wanted to get together with one another anyways, and they just happen to do it at your event, which also leads you to being the connector of why they did that.
Exactly. And then, if that bridges that gap of a friendship, 10 years down the road, you're going to be the person they think about.
So let me make sure we're clear. You're not using this. We're not going to use this to basically just go after people and say, hey, buy or list with me. You're just doing it as a deposit, as a value added piece, saying, hey, thanks everybody for attending. So glad to see you all or meet you all. Hopefully you find this valuable, and I look forward to seeing you out in the community.
Exactly. And if you're smart and you are in contact with a title company or a mortgage company, you can actually get the event paid for, right? Let them hang their banner. You can hang your banner. They can pay for food. I mean, you can host a free event and bring all this valuable information and have it all come back to you without coming out of your pocket.
Absolutely. So you're saying leverage your vendors to assist you because they're actually the vendor relationship with the real estate agent. They're actually in alignment with you being productive, right?
Exactly.
And they're actually in alignment with you promoting yourself and co-branding themselves right along with you. So you might as well use that co-branding. And a lot of these lenders or banks have a lot bigger pockets. They have more marketing power than we have as realtors, especially if you're starting out. And a lot of these folks, if they see that you're an aggressive agent or they see that you're actually making stuff happen, you might not have the financial resource in order to put towards doing something like this, but they do.
Right. And I think we should just expand on that a little bit because people might not watching this have ever thought about reaching out, or maybe they're scared to. So my one tip would just be don't be scared about it. Like just call and ask because like you said, you don't know how deep their pockets are or their company's black cards are.
Right. And they're looking to form strategic partnerships. They don't want to just take you out to lunch and then get a deal from you. They would rather form a strategic partnership where they're in alignment with your growth and your success as well. And they will help you with marketing dollar right now for the return on the investment of, hey, we want to be your go-to person or one of your go-to people for this.
Exactly.
Travis, I got to roll, so I'm going to end this and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
See ya.